or like ill will against people that do IML and shit like that. Like whatever, if marketing is your thing, then whatever, that's your thing. But
Right.
I was more like intrigued with the candles and learning how to read candles and like the power of forex itself.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't really about the whole recruiting thing. So after like a few months, I ended up leaving IML. Um, Kind of did my own thing for a little bit. Stumbled upon Q's course.
Okay.
I joined Wall Street Academy in, I want to say, March of 19. And I've been obviously a WSA member since then.
Okay.
And then just recently, I just joined Drew's thing just to kind of catch a feel for it.
Right.
Not really per se for the signals. I'm not like, the signals is cool and all, but I was more into for like what he had to offer outside of the learn and earn. You get me? Like
Right.
what the group itself, like the accountability system, like what's their vibe? Like
Right.
is it just like another signals group, or is
Right.
there's more to it? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
bro, same, bro. Yeah, cause like for a second he got like hit me up and was like, Vontae, like I want you to do like the psychology section and stuff like that. And I started out doing it at first because I thought it was about to be like you said, something more than just, like a
Just the
signals.
signals group.
Yeah, like, and I when I started to see like the webinars was repetitive and like, it was just more like a signals group. I was just like, oh, okay, well, this wasn't what I wanted to be a part of. So like I
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
just stepped away and kept doing my own thing
Yeah.
and just let people that, find me and mess with my vibe, and how I am on the charts and go about
For sure, for sure.
psychology and helping with risk management. Then they,
Big months.
come get my services, right? So yeah. That's pretty much like
Sure.
where I've been at. But my trading journey, I've been trading for about 2 years. Well, yeah, starting in 2018. So this is like March would be like three years for me. Um, but it's been pretty
Nice.
fast, because I was already in my PhD program, um,
Yeah.
dealing with psychology and stuff like that. So I pretty much came into some, a little bit of money that I had extra to invest and stuff. And one of my close friends was like, you need to look at Q. Like it's this dude named Q making like, 14K a week. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at that time, I was just understanding the concept of not waiting 2 weeks to get paid every day. I mean, to get paid. So
For sure, for sure.
once I was able to see that, I was just like, oh man, like you know, I'm locked in because I was already used to making money every day. So I was like, man, I don't gotta wait 2 weeks on a paycheck. I don't gotta put my
Right.
money in a savings account or anything like that. Like I could just make money on my own from my phone type of thing. So that's what really attracted me. And I just ran with it. Like I got his online course for like 500 at the time.
Hmm.
After that, I gave myself like 6 months to get consistent, like to really go hard at it. So I did that. And then after that, I was just like, if I'm pretty efficient at it, I'll go take his in person course. And then I went and took his in person course, and it was everything I wanted it to be, plus more,
Yeah.
and the connection that we had from just like business minds, thinking likewise as far as business minds at the time and what we had to offer each other. He just gave me an opportunity to come help him teach his classes from there on out, and start to implement a psychology section that I was learning from school.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I was definitely. I've definitely been following Q and following you for a bit, and I've noticed that. Like I saw that during the 5 day course that Q used to offer.
Right.
You towards the back end of the 5DC. I know he doesn't give them anymore, but you were the TA pretty consistent.
Yeah.
So that's definitely cool. Cool to see. It kind of sucks that Q's on a different level now, and
Yeah, bro.
he's kind of steered away from the 5DC. But I mean, that's
Part
kind
of
of
the solution though, like
it's
when you
part.
get
Yeah,
good
it's part of
at
it. It's part of it. It's part of it.
yeah, it's just like man, once you really get good at it, then it's just like you let the young people,
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
like
The
Kobe
people.
and them, like when they on their way out, it's just like all right, I'm gonna let LeBron start to take his reign
Exactly.
and
Yeah, exactly,
fall in line.
exactly. He's pretty much paved the way for
Right,
people, for WSA students to kind of run with their own identity and kind
Right,
of like
right.
become their own person and kind of
Exactly, bro.
take over the torch type shit.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. So I've just been enjoying
Oh
that
yeah, for sure.
and just trying to get better each year, have set goals, hit my goals. And that's what I'm real big on, especially like with the people that I mentor, is just like, having daily goals, having weekly goals as far as like profit wise, pip wise, and just being really structured and being like a scientist of your craft.
Yeah, I think honestly, if I had to pick and like kind of expose the weakest part of my trading journey entirely, is that I've never had structure, right? Like I've never had like a set schedule. I've just kind of like winging it.
Yeah,
I've just kind of like trading whenever I feel like trading.
right.
Setups come and go. So I'm in the military, right? And now I'm getting ready to actually get out. I'll be leaving the military in the next year,
Okay.
and I'm taking I've been taking probably this year, uh, ending last year, beginning, and this whole year I've pretty much like sat down and focused, and I'm like, all right, like this is it. You get me? Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have that military paycheck to rely on
Right.
in a year from now. So I need to do something with this forex thing if that's what I really want to do. You know what I mean?
And it's doable,
So
bro. It's doable, bro. I'll be the first one
exactly.
to fucking tell
Exactly, exactly. So I feel like the biggest thing that I definitely
you. Gotta treat
could
it
benefit
like a
from
business.
is what?
You gotta treat it like a business.
Exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I definitely have to like sit down and focus on like structure. You get me? Like what works best for me, and just if it's proven to work via back testing, then you know, keep doing it.
Right.
Like if it's not broke, don't fix it
Right.
type of
And
mentality.
you get that really from back testing, bro. Like you get that from back testing. Like not even gonna lie to you. That's the biggest thing people sleep on. People just look at it and be like, oh yeah, it's just back testing. It's just this, it's just that. But no, if you really go back and dissect these moves and you're not dissecting so much the move, you're dissecting your system, right? You're saying,
Correct.
okay, if I get in at this particular point, and how many candles, as far as hourly or as far as 4 hour, as far as 30 minute, as far as whatever time frames that you're used to being on, like,
Yeah.
and that's within my flow of my daily structure, like
Yeah.
meaning being on the charts and then having to do other things, what does that look like? So that way
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not always on the charts. I can actually trust my system, right? And it
Yeah.
comes
Yeah. Yeah.
by
I get what you're saying.
abiding by your stop loss, understanding the risks that you have before you even enter into the market,
Yep.
like really, really being in fine detail and then asking yourself, okay, what's my edge when it's that time for me to enter? What do I feel confident entering off of? Like that I know I can make money. Is it double bottom? Is it major market patterns? Is it,
Yeah.
me using my moving averages? Is it me being dynamic as far as my trend lines or my support and resistance, right? So it's just like going back really to the basics and understanding, okay, what things am I really using confluence trading, or am I just trading based off of impulse? Am I trading based off of emotions? Am I trading based off of, just trading just because I like trading? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, no, like I have a certain purpose, and that's why you got to understand your why with all of this. Like, where do you want to go? If you have certain goals that you want to hit, being that you're in the military about to get out, then it's just like you need to write those goals out so that way
Yeah.
the
For sure.
your 5 year, 2 year goals, all of that is aligning up with what you're doing today. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
For sure. For
Like,
sure.
and if that means putting certain hours, once you get off the clock, putting certain hours into this market, then that's what you got to do, because that's the transition process. Is being able to be like, all right, I clocked out. All right, boom, I'm gonna go eat, go do this, and then I gotta put in 2, 3 hours the same way you would if you were studying in class.
Fact.
But it's studying because this is gonna pay you, right?
Yep.
So it's the same kind of
No, for sure.
mindset.
For sure. One question for back testing, right? So I was thinking about implementing this. I was just thinking about it recently, right? So when you back test, do you like in your back test, do you try and like mimic what like a realistic trading day would be? So like would you look at the candles and like wait, so like let's say for example you normally wake up at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, whatever it is, you like go to that point in time on the replay tool and you're like, all right, well, this is when I normally wake up. And when I
That's
start
one way.
looking at the chart.
That's one way. That's one way of back testing and I definitely like using the replay tool. But like I'm more of like, all right, what do I need to see out of the market for me to start breaking things down? You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'll look at, like, for instance, like a week, and I'll go back and pick throughout the week where are my entry base points, like where would I want
Okay.
to enter during that week, like what day, and then I'll break it down as far as like what day that was, what's the time that I started to see certain breakouts or see certain things line up, and what
Okay.
time
Okay.
would I
I
have
see what
to be
you're
on
saying.
the chart, so that way when I'm trading in real life, in real life, then it's like, all right, I know what time I need to be looking at for certain moves. I know what time volatility levels are going to pick up, like certain things like that within my technicals. That's how I back test. Like I'll back test using my Fibonacci tool. I'll back test using my trend lines, trying to find a move using my trend line, point A, point B, point C points. Right.
Yeah.
I'll back test also just off of different candlestick variations, so I could get used to seeing how moves will play out using different candles. Like it's not always going to be just an engulfing,
Golfing. Yeah. Yeah. You're
or
talking
three
about morning
candle or
stars and
three
shit.
candle setup. Sometimes there's 5 and 7 candle type setups, right, that I could take advantage of. But that's you diving deeper into your craft and getting comfortable in those
Yeah,
environments.
for sure.
You right?
For sure. Now, let me ask you, do you think, so the reason, so when I back test, this is me personally, and I don't know if you can, you being a psychology major, I don't know if you can like either agree to this or disagree. So when I back test, I'll like go to the daily or the daily chart on any pair that I'm back testing, and I'll basically straight line my chart. So like I'll basically narrow the price point to where I don't see candles,
Okay.
right? It's just a straight line. So I don't see up and down. I don't see what price is done, right? So I'll scroll back in time to wherever I go. I'll kind of like close my eyes or just scroll back, a random scroll, and hit replay, and then I'll hit auto, and it'll expand,
Oh wow.
right? So that way for me, I feel like psychologically, if I don't know what's already occurred,
Mm-hmm.
then I feel like that's the most realistic I can get
Mm-hmm.
to an actual live back test.
Right.
Because if I see what's already occurred,
Mm-hmm.
then me personally, I feel like psychologically, I'm already gonna be kind of triggered in my mind to where I want to go in the move
Mm-hmm.
based off the candles that have already occurred.
Right. No, I
You
haven't
understand
tried.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I haven't tried that, but that sounds like something I definitely try, because I've tried back testing, using Excel sheets, all type of stuff, So it's like
Yeah.
that's something I definitely try, because that sounds realistic too. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about though, right?
No, 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 I do.
Like
I
you
do
base
the price and then going to a certain
Yeah, you
date and then
narrow it down, you insert, and then you expand it, and now
yeah,
you have no clue what price is done.
yeah, I gotta try that. That sounds
Okay.
crazy. For
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was trying to get your opinion on that because I've been doing that, and like
I did.
that's literally the closest thing that I could think of to back testing a live market and not the live market exactly. Because it's like, well, I don't I know I'm in history,
So,
but I have no idea what the hell has
right,
occurred,
right.
right? Because it's like, I mean, yeah, I look at the charts every day, but I don't remember what the hell
Right, right,
EU or GJ did
right,
fucking 10 months from now, 10
right.
months ago.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Uh how how did you go about in your trading journey? Like how did you go about setting um I guess setting your plan, right? Like did you was there like a obviously I know with time and like as you get better and more confident in trading, I'm sure you've adjusted your trade plan accordingly. But what's your best advice to really honing on a solid trade plan? Is it like the Q answer? It just depends.
No, I wouldn't even say it just depends. Because everybody' life is different. Like everybody's daily life is different. But
Yeah,
at the same time, it goes back to what I was telling you about just having certain goals that you have your goals for you. You know what I'm saying?
correct.
That you want to hit, and it's just about putting that in physical, like writing it out, believing it, saying it every day. Making it your everyday thought process of what do I need to be doing that'll align me with if I want to be a millionaire, how does a millionaire think? What steps do I need to take today to really,
Okay.
that's my goal, but if my goal is, all right, with this trading thing, I want to up my lot size in 3 months, then it's like, okay, I need to be consistent at the lot size that I'm at, and have a certain number of trades that I'm taking per week, have a certain number,
Okay.
so I can really see and keep testing my strategy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
To the
for sure,
point
for
where
sure.
my system is so good that even when I'm in environments that I'm not usually comfortable with, I trust my system enough to it's either gonna go with my system or it's gonna go against my system. If the market isn't going with my system, then it's not meant for me to be in that type of market.
I got
That's
you.
how I've grown to think about things, because once you detach yourself from the money, it's more so, do I have a profitable system? Because if I have a profitable system, it's gonna run like an engine. You know what I mean? Like, no
Exactly.
matter, because if I'm taking 20 trades a week, or 20 trades, let's say if I'm taking 20 trades every 2 weeks, it's just gonna keep accumulating. Like, it's gonna be some short wins, it's gonna be a lot of big wins. You know what I mean? And I just want to make sure that I can manage the losses, right?
Yeah,
Like, that's the biggest thing, is understanding my risk management. How much money do I need to be making a day? What type of moves do I need to be going for, based on how far I can analyze, right?
okay.
And that's where a lot of people have it mixed up. Is like, you can't say like, oh yeah, I'm an intraday trader, but you can't analyze for long periods of time. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like, and
I hear
that's
you.
what it comes down to, is like, I want to have these type of profitable days, or I want to have these type of big wins. But at the same time, it's like, is your account size allow for that, right? Does let's see, are you using proper risk? Like, how much drawdown do you see on average,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And it's like, okay, how many pips are you usually catching, right? And it's just like, you have to put all of that and just really do the math, right? And it's just like, if I know I'm catching 30 pips per, 30 pips per move, that's usually where I'm at. And I'm using a standard. I know that's basically $300 a trade, right? If I'm hitting on 7 out of 10 trades, bro, I'm a profitable trader. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? Because as
Yeah,
long as I can minimize those three losses, and make sure that they're $150 or less, then my wins are gonna outweigh my losses, and that's what makes me a good trader,
for
right?
sure. Yep.
So it's more of a workflow thing, and
Yeah,
you'll hear Q say that all the time. It's always with workflow, like, it's always about your workflow, like, how are you thinking about things, how are you going about things, and that's what actually had made me, like, inspired me to publish that trading journal. Both of them is because it was just like, it's so many cognitive factors that go into this, like cognitive bias, and you know understanding emotion versus logic, and understanding regret aversion, like,
yep,
impulse trading and things like that. And once you're aware of those things and you understand what those things are, and you can put a definition to them, then you can start to become conscious when you're actually about to start revenge trading, and or you're experiencing greed, because it happens. It's a part of the game, but it's about being able. It's almost like meditating, like when you're all them thoughts come to you, but you're supposed to let the thoughts go. Like, it's the same
yeah,
thing. It's like when you're trying to
for sure.
profit and you're trying to be consistent at this game, you gotta just stay with what you're really good at. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's why that's why I say, figure out where you're more profitable in the market. Am I more profitable using my moving average? Am I more profitable because I understand Fibonacci? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make money those ways, but when you put everything together and you're able to understand everything, bro, you become a beast, because that's how you confluence trade. When you can put four things together and you don't have to
Yeah,
trip
for
over your
sure.
lot size or
For
anything
sure.
like
For
that,
sure.
because you have, tight risk and big reward.
Got you. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's so hard because it's like I've I've definitely consumed the WSA content
Mhm.
multiple times. I feel like technical wise, I'm at a place where you can always get better at technicals,
Mhm.
but I'm at the point where I feel confident even teaching people,
Yeah,
my technicals,
good.
right? Like
Yeah, that's good.
I understand how to break down market structure, and I've always been a type of person like, you understanding information is one thing, and then being able to teach information, that's a whole nother, like
All
you've
that.
tapped into a whole nother level,
Yeah.
right? And I take that serious because like
Mhm.
I know if I'm able to teach something, that's like solidifying that I
Right.
understand and grasp
Right.
what
That's
what information I'm trying to give.
right. You're able to apply that. Like,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And man, to be honest, bro, like I couldn't even tell you for sure why I haven't had that like breakthrough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've been up and down. I'm in the middle of two FDMO challenges right now.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
I applied for two 10K accounts.
Okay.
And I've basically, so today I took a AU trade, caught 30 pips on a standard, so 300 bucks,
Okay.
and then it dropped down, it retraced, and then I just re-entered the buy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Show me.
AU.
Show me what you were looking at.
Here, let me share my screen. Oh wait, hold on. It's disabled. I think if you do like multi.
No, it should be good now.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Oh, bet. You can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Oh, it's actually going up in my favor again. So
So what
I
time do you analyze off of 80% of the time?
say again.
What time frame do you analyze off of 80% of the time?
80% of the time. So honestly, I don't what's the word I'm looking for? I don't kind of damn, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't neglect any time frame, right? I don't like to neglect any time frame. So first I first foremost before anything, I always look at the monthly and I look at the 2 months prior's candle,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just to see where volume's at, right? I know that a monthly candle is a lot of data, but I just want to kind of like cognitively like keep on the back of my head like, oh, the last 2 months price has been bullish, the price has been bearish, or like just to kind of get an idea of where volume's at.
Right.
I jump down to the weekly, I see if like any major market structure move has occurred, right? And with AU, we had that break of structure and then we had a retest on the weekly.
Right.
Go down to the daily. Obviously, we're getting into much finer detail,
Right.
but we're looking at market structure, right? So market structure is pretty clean on the uptrend, and it's come down to basically 100% retracements
Right.
for the past couple weeks.
Right.
Go down to H4. So H4 is where I mainly do most of my technicals, right? So H4, H1 is the bread and butter, because
Well, you could tell
yeah,
you a WSA boy. I love it.
yeah. So like you could, for me personally, the way I like to trade, I know that yeah, it's cool to know what the daily's doing or what the weekly and the monthly's doing, but I know that I'm not going to trade based off those time frames because it's realistically speaking, I'm never going to hold a trade
Right.
for weeks, months, years, right?
Right.
Like it's not going to happen.
Right.
So I go down to the H4, and this is like where I really try to pick apart like where I want to enter. And even on the H4 sometimes like I notice that like I'll look at a setup and I'm just like, man, like where I really want to enter is still realistically like a few 4-hour candles away. So like it's like, well, shit, the setup's not gonna be here for like another 2 days
Right.
type shit.
Especially
So
with AU.
it's exactly, especially with AU. And honestly, I rarely trade AU. I rarely trade AU. I just saw this setup and I was like, fuck it, I'll take it.
Why not?
Based based off what I know, why not?
Exactly.
So I saw the trade set up this morning. I've been seeing it since last night,
Okay.
and I saw that we had that based on the H4, we were counter trending. We were counter trending down, and we basically 100% retraced.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the counter trend finished on the H1, we had that break of structure, right? So we had on the H1 we had a higher low, or sorry, a lower high form,
Yep.
but then we failed to create a lower low.
Right.
So that right there gave me the first indication. Well, buyers might start coming into the market.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get that clean break, right, with the 1-2 candle, and obviously even more, I'm like, okay, well, prime time, right? So we just got to wait for the retest. We got to wait for the break and retest of the broken resistance. Price comes down, enters, right?
Yep.
In this zone, right? I mark off the supply and demand zone.
Perfect, man.
And this right here was clean setup number one.
Yep.
I didn't end up taking this trade because I noticed it after.
Okay.
I ended up taking this
Okay.
retest.
Okay. Perfect.
So this was the trade I took this morning or afternoon ish, right? So I saw price come down and break again. So it basically created. I was basically waiting for price to create a new higher high.
Okay. Yep.
It came up, created the new higher high,
Now we
and
got
I basically marked off broken resistance again to then take it back to a new higher high.
resistance
So
support.
H1, I jumped down to the M30. I looked at M30 time frame, right? I got tweezer bottoms down here.
Yes, sir.
Boom, one candlestick pattern. I can even jump down, right? So like with me, I just found multiple areas within multiple time frames where I could have picked apart a move.
Yeah.
So on the M30, I saw the tweezer bottoms.
Mhm.
On the M15, I saw the hammer,
Yep.
right? On M5, and even on the M5, right? You have this like counter trend line that I drew up. I had the break, the break of the counter trend line, came back, touched the counter trend line, and took off.
Yeah, man.
Right. So I ended up securing, I think it was like 30 some odd pips. And like, I mean, granted, this move right here on like any other pair is probably like 60, 70 pips.
70 pips.
But
Yeah, easy.
yeah, but I know with AU, I was like, well, AU is a slow moving pair, so I could lot up.
Exactly.
I could lot up on it because I know stops are a lot tighter
Right.
and they're a lot less in value. So my stops, I put my stops like right below 200, which was this previous low.
Okay.
I think I put it like 190,
That's
185,
still
something
good.
like that,
Feel good. Yep.
something like that. And I took it up for 30 some odd pips, closed out. I closed out I put my stops in profit.
Okay.
Right about, I want to say right here.
Yeah.
I put my stops in profit
Perfect.
right around.
Perfect, man. That's a good
It
trade.
came down and hit my stops, whatever, and then now and I knew it was gonna happen, right? So that was another thing, right? So I want to, and I kind of want to get your opinion on this, right? So when this move was already in the blue, right? Like I'm deep in the blue, and I already kind of like my intuition tells me that I know it's gonna come back to retest this kind of like shitty area of the 77400. That I knew it was gonna come back and retest it because that's what price does, right? You break an area and you retest it to then seek higher price, to seek a higher high.
Right.
Um, for this particular order, right? Would you have maintained my better entry down here and just kind of like flowed with the market, or would you have taken profit where I took profit and then just waited for an area to retest?
I would have took profit because the way that the those candles look, they look hella volatile, and you just even though we're saying like, yeah, because we know market structure, we know it's gonna break and retest, but to be honest, the market, like, you never really 100% know.
You never really know.
So it's better
So
to
you
go
might
ahead
as well
and
secure the bag.
take what you can off the table, boom, and then live to see another trade. Wait and see if
True.
structure is gonna hold up, and then be ready to enter again.
True. True. Yeah, I'm actually in an open position right now. This is not where I entered. Let me look at my trading view. Or not my trading view, my MT4.
Yeah,
737.
breakdown. Perfect breakdown. Perfect.
Oh yeah, that is where I entered actually. But it was over here. I entered right here on this engulfing
Yeah, bro.
731. So I entered here and it's been kind of teeter tottering. I know
Yeah,
AU's out of
out of
out of
session,
session.
and it's a
Yeah, it's out of
consolidation
session.
there. It's cool.
So it's out of session. Right now I'm six pips in profit. So $64.
Right, and you still TP.
But my overall, yeah, my overall projection is based on H1. I think it was the H1 fib. Yep, it's right here. So my overall projection is still up here, the 7 750 area ish. So
Yeah.
which lines up with it lines up pretty clean with my market structure because I don't really see anywhere here in this area like valid like anywhere valid
yeah,
because like I feel like once it breaks this area again,
yeah,
it is gonna shoot straight up because
right,
there's no valid resistance over
right,
here.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, bro. It looked real good. Like it looked good, man. That's exactly how I would have said it. Like,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Your technicals are definitely on point for sure.
Bet. Yeah. Man, I don't know. It's like sometimes I like self-doubt myself.
Nah,
You know
man.
what I mean?
Nah.
So it's like sometimes it's like fuck man, like, you know, that like little bit of doubt that you have in the back of your mind. And then it's like, I don't know, I just have to I
For
think with more repetition, with
yeah, that's
I
all
don't
it
know.
is though. It's just more reps, bro. Like, and you gotta be numb to that shit. Like, you gotta be
Yeah.
numb to that shit, man.
I'm definitely getting better. I'm definitely getting better at that, right? So it's like I'll enter a trade. I'll set my parameters, I'll set my stops, and I'll just be like numb, right? Like I'll be like, well, if this trade wins or if this trade loses, I don't care.
It's about the move. Like, it's about the move. Catch the move. Like, that's what it's about, man. Like, understanding, is my analysis gonna be correct? Not so much like,
Yep.
am I gonna be in profit and how long am I gonna be in profit? All of that stuff.
Yep.
Because catching good moves and having precise entries, having that precision, man,
Yep.
trust me, you're not gonna be worried about being in profit. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Because even the way
True.
that you breaking it down and you using your confluence, you putting everything together, bro. The rest is just waiting and not messing anything up while you waiting.
Yeah, like not
Like, don't
not what's
self
the word I'm looking for?
sabotage. Yeah, like, don't self sabotage yourself. Like, nah. And that's what comes with writing shit down, bro. Like, even time stamping. Like, okay, it's what time? It's 3:15. I'm in this position. Price is now here. I feel like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, just even writing that out so that way you can start getting these emotions out and you're not active impulsively. You know what
Okay,
I
okay.
mean? Like,
Hell
that's
yeah.
that's things that I do so that way, like, I'll write it on my whiteboard, like I timestamp, like, I'm in this position, this is my TP. I always write my TP, so I'm always thinking of my goal. I'm always thinking of where I want the market to get to, not where it's at now, but where I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Where I envision it being, right? And as
Yeah.
long as things are aligning with that, the market's good. You gotta give the market time to breathe. But as long as everything is aligning with my system, bro, I'm not touching nothing. Like, because
Yeah,
the only thing I moved was my stop loss, and I only put that in profit when I'm where I want to be in the market. I
yeah.
got some
Do you
moves.
do you so how you manage your trade and how you like set your stops and profit and flow with market? I'm assuming you that's just based off whatever pair you're trading, right? So
Right,
like every
right,
pair, every like obviously AU is a slow moving pair, so like you probably you could probably
I'll trade that shit
let it,
without stop loss down there.
yeah, yeah, basically. So then
When
it's
you're
like
at 30, it's like, nah, bro. Like, like that
I
move
hear
I
you,
caught earlier. It's like, nah, like, I gotta have a stop loss in. I'm using lots too. So it's like, or lots to me anyway. You feel me? So it's like, I gotta make sure my capital is protected. That's the first thing.
for sure,
I don't
for
want
sure.
this one trade isn't gonna dignify my whole, So, and that's how you think it, like, make it boring. Like, make it boring, man. Like, make it like anything else,
Yep.
but just be into it, like lean into it, right?
Yeah, I read I can't remember what book I read it in, but the dude was like it if if your if if your trading career is boring, then you're doing something right.
Exactly.
Like trading should be boring.
Exactly, bro.
Every successful trader should be bored as hell
Bro,
out their mind.
I promise you, because it's like you've done this shit a million times, you can almost guess what's gonna happen, bro. Like,
Facts.
real live, almost guess. Like, it be them times like when you take them normal losses where like the market just doing some stupid shit. But
Yeah.
besides that, 80% of the time, like, all you gotta do is do what you do and then sit back and let the market do what it's gonna do, man. And then when you look up, It's all blues. All
I
blue.
hear you. I hear you. What so one thing I started kind of catching myself doing more often now, since joining Drew's group was
Mhm.
like I do a lot more entries in the lower time frames. I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing.
Lower
Um
time frames like what, M5, M15.
M5 M1 type shit.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you're doing the FTMO challenge, like, and they got hella restrictions on that shit as far as drawdown. I mean, you're gonna want to be on those low time frames so you can
Yep.
calculate your drawdown properly.
Yep.
And that's why Drew trades the way he trades, because he passed the FTMO challenge, and
Yep.
that was the system he used. You know what I mean, to get there. So
Yep.
it would only make sense that he set y'all up the
Check
same
out
way.
there.
Okay.
What's up, bro?
Hey, sorry to bother you, bro.
I'm good.
We got Chief and Pat here for a game of Monopoly. If you're interested,
Probably not right now.
all right, bro. I just wanted to ask.
Hey, you Gucci, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, so it's only right that he set y'all up basically based off of his system. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I get what you're saying. And I mean,
It
don't get
helps,
me wrong.
it
Like,
helps for
I'm
you.
not.
Do it.
Yeah. So like, I'm not. It's not that I'm not seeing success with M1 entries or M5 entries. I don't know. I'm just not used to it.
Yeah,
Right. So like, being a WA student for so long, M5, M1 entries is like
yeah,
what? Like,
yeah,
Q's always the M30. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
And that's how I am.
set
I'm
up,
like,
set up on the H4, H1
yep,
triggers on M30. You know what I mean?
right. And that,
So
and the thing is, go with what you're comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? Because it's your money, bro. At the end of the day, like, so it's like, if I know M5, M1 is too much data, then I'm gonna zoom out. I'm gonna go to M30. I'm gonna chill, wait for a candle that's sexy, that's attractive. Don't have a whole bunch of exhaustion in it, things like
yep,
that. Things that make me confident in placing this order. So, but if
correct.
I'm on M5 and I can't tell what's up, what's down, and things like that, and it's
This
all
is too
going
much
so
money.
fast, then it's just like, nah, that's too much data. I gotta zoom out. You know.
Okay,
But some people
okay,
can analyze that stuff because they've been doing it for so long, right? So you
yeah,
gotta realize, if you've been doing something for a long period of time, then when you do try something different, it's gonna feel uncomfortable at first.
okay, yeah, yeah. No, I feel you for sure. What have I think I was watching one of your videos on it was on Drew on Discord that you were doing the FTMO.
Yeah,
Are you
I had did it, but I didn't pass the verification. The second one, like the second.
okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't do it. I had hit my drawdown, like my daily drawdown.
So I've already tried the challenge twice,
Hmm.
and both times I failed, and it was like the first time I failed miserably just because of the drawdown thing, where
Yeah,
it's like, well, because the whole daily thing, right? It's
yeah,
like daily equity drawdown, so it's like it's not one of those things where it's like, well, it just adds up. So like you can have like, let's say you put in 2, 3, 4 trades for the day,
hmm,
and each of those 4 trades went into 120, $200 drawdown. Boom, you're already out the game.
right.
Regardless if those positions
Or winning
ended up going
trade.
blue.
Right, right.
Yeah, ended
Exactly.
up going in the blue.
That's what happened to me, bro. I was in a winning trade though, and ended up. I went back to check, and it said I hit my daily drawdown. After that, I was just like, it turned me off. I was just like, man, I'm
It's hard. It's hard. It's definitely hard because it's like I see the capital, right? And like, yeah, 10K is the lowest capital they offer,
yeah,
but it's like 10K is still 10K. You get me? Like,
right,
people, you can make something swing with 10K.
right, for sure. It was just that, and then a couple of people I know, like, having to wait and only get like paid once a month and stuff like
Once a
like
month,
I'm used to withdrawing, like,
every Friday type shit.
bro, like, if that, like, sometimes 2 3 days, like, just depends on the type of trades I
That,
have.
that, that yeah, it depends on the move. Like if you have
Right.
a
And it's
badass
just
move,
like, for me to just wait, it's more job like. And I was just like, nah, I'm good, man. If that's the case, I might as well open my own hedge fund and get traders, and you know what I'm
true.
saying? And just do this shit ourselves. Like,
Yeah, facts, facts. I'm actually looking into opening LLC
yeah,
um before I get out before I get out the military, just to
Okay.
kind of transition.
Yeah.
Um,
Heck yeah, bro.
but
That,
yeah, but I don't know.
that's
I
cool.
don't know exactly like what my edge is gonna be for my LLC. Like I want it to be just kind of investments in general,
Yeah.
real estate investments, forex, stocks,
Yeah.
just everything in general. But
Yeah. Then just all
I,
you can say is like it's an enterprise, like some kind of,
exactly.
and then
Yeah, like an investment group or something like that.
right, yeah. Yep.
I feel you.
Move like
How so how what's the word? Like how have you I mean, yeah, honestly, I don't have much like technical analysis questions.
yeah.
It's more of like how you've grown within the journey and like how you've used your what's it called? What's I'm looking for? How you've used your resources and like your mentors and the people around our niche, like how you've used them to basically, gain confidence within yourself, or
Yeah.
has it been like a kind of like I walk my path alone type
Uh,
stuff?
I wouldn't.
I know the journey is like
Yeah.
within yourself.
Yeah.
It's like a self-evolving journey,
Right.
but I know for sure like being around Q as a mentor and like
Yeah.
doing the TA and stuff like that, like those things have to for sure like aid.
Bruh. Hell yeah, bro. Like that shit is amazing. Being able, the fact that we got the type of friendship that we have, and to be honest, bro, like we really don't even talk charts for real. Like that's the funny part. Like
Yeah, I bet.
yeah, like we rarely like I don't know. Like we got that mentorship where it's like I'm more interested in like the back office shit. Like, like what's the back office of all of this shit? What's really behind all, like that's the type of person I am. Like, so it's like, but the chart shit always came. Like I got an A+ in this class. Like all
Yeah,
that shit was already coming. So I was already hungry for it. So
yeah,
it's like all he did was just expose me to what's in line for me once I, you know, really, really take it to the next level. And I'm playing with hundreds and thousands and shit like that.
for
You know,
sure, for sure.
so that's the only thing that it really opened my eyes up to, like, bro, these dudes really have bread. Like it's different levels of having money, like,
Yeah, for sure.
and what the thing about it is, once you think you got some money and you get around people that got money, they let you know, like, bro,
You let you know you ain't got
yeah,
money.
like you ain't got you ain't got no money,
You
bro.
might think you have money, but you
Yeah,
really don't have
you
money.
got some money when you go back home, but out here, like, our money a little different. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
And they hold a little bit more weight. So, but it just opened your eyes up because it makes you think of perspective, like it's actually possible. You know what I'm saying? It's possible for me to have,
Yeah,
$20,000 trades, $60,000 trades, $100,000 trades. It's possible. It's just a certain workflow that I gotta have. It's a
for
certain
sure.
hunger, and I just really have to be in tune and have my why. Remember my why. Remember why I'm doing what I'm doing to get
Yeah,
me over all
for
the
sure.
other bullshit. You know?
Yeah, no, that's for sure. It's definitely it's a little intimidating, kind of getting ready to get out the military. Um, just because I got a wife and 2 kids, so it's
Yeah.
like, it's tough. It's tough. It's definitely it's a lot more. I want to say it's a little bit more mentally taxing on my wife, just because I've been the breadwinner kind
Right.
of type.
Right.
With, I mean, in the military, you got a steady check. I literally got a steady paycheck every first and the 15th.
Right. It's
It
coming.
never it
It's
never misses a beat.
yeah.
You know,
Coming.
at 12 o'clock midnight on
It's
the
there.
31st or on the 14th, there's my money. You know me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's easy. It's easy to get complacent and it's easy to get kind of comfortable
Yeah.
in that realm or in that world.
It could be the
Um,
same, but it could be the same with this.
exactly,
It could be the
exactly,
same,
and that's what
bro. Like when
and
I
that's
say
what
withdrawing every week, real life pay my bills, like withdrawing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it could be that. You just gotta make sure you have a certain level of consistency. You know what I'm saying? If you have a certain level of consistency and you know your wins is gonna outweigh your losses, bro, man, you'll be surprised how fast the money come, bro. Because it's gonna be the byproduct. It's gonna be like you say, every 14th, that's how I feel every Thursday. every Tuesday, every Friday, every
Hell
whenever,
yeah.
like
Hell yeah.
whenever, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hell yeah. Hell
it
yeah.
can really be that, like
For
it's just
sure.
about what type of level do you want to be on, because the more capital you got, man, it's a different ocean. It's a different ocean. It's a whole different level playing field.
Yeah. You just jump from the kiddie pool to the
To
ocean to
9 feet. Yeah, like for real. And ain't nobody gonna teach you how to swim. You gotta learn how to swim on your own for real, But it's the same kind of workflow. It's just on a bigger scale, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that's
it's
why.
just yeah, so it's like once you like mentally once you mentally accept or mentally break the barrier of like the money
Yeah,
and think about the move,
yeah.
it's
You're
it's
good.
no different. It's
You're
no different.
no
Like
different than
catching
being on a 30-minute time frame. It's no different. It's no different. It's just, can you
that's no
withstand
different.
the fluctuations?
That same yeah, that same 30 pip move you've been catching consistently for a year can change from however many lots perspective. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I can consistently catch 30, 40 pips, it's just a matter of time where I just lock the hell up
Man,
those 30 pips.
I'm telling you, bro.
Okay.
It's all it is. It's all it
What
is.
do you recommend like people in this niche to kind of like introvert themselves and like kind of like
It depends on
stick?
the type of person. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on what type of person you already are, right? I
Okay.
know personally, sometimes you have to be like that, you
Yeah.
know, for you to really lock in when you really got goals to meet and stuff like
Yeah.
that, really got food to put on the table and
Yeah.
bills and stuff, and this is the way that you want to do it, you got to sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the reason why I ask is like I'm kind of like stuck in between, right? Because like I'm a very helpful person by nature, right? Like I'm always the type of person where like if I possess a certain type of knowledge, I'll never be the type of person to like withhold that knowledge from anyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I feel like in a sense I'm also at my best trading wise
Mhm.
when I'm also like giving the information that I know.
And if you
You
feel like
know?
it help you, then bro, go hard at it. Go hard at it. Get you a little group. Get you a group of people that trust you. You know what I'm saying? Start teaching them. See how you like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be the person to tell you no, don't do that. Like, if you saying that it's gonna help you lock you in, that's gonna help you. I want to help you, so yeah, do that.
For sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
even if it's people that's out there with you, that instead of going playing Monopoly, like, hey yo, let's lock in. I'm gonna teach y'all something tonight. Teach y'all how to invest y'all money. You know,
That
start
true,
teaching
true,
y'all
true.
some things like, you know,
Hell yeah.
you never know
Hell
where
yeah.
it
No,
can
for
take
sure.
where it can take you, bro. If you don't try, right? But whatever is gonna you feel like you need to do to benefit you, bro, So just do it. Like just do it. Don't even question it. Like, you know,
Hell yeah.
just
For sure, for sure.
lean into it. If you're gonna be a trader, lean into that. Own that title. Like that's the
Yeah.
best advice I could give you. And be that. Like just really be that. Don't put on a facade or anything like that. Just be who you are. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get exactly what you're saying. Kind of like, yeah, don't basically stay true to yourself. And if
Yeah.
you like for me, like personally, like if I know that I get some type of like fulfillment or like satisfaction with like teaching people Forex, like don't don't be so caught up in like what's the word I'm looking for? Don't be so caught up in the fact that yeah, I might still be new in my trading journey,
Right.
but there's still people that are newer in their trading journey
Every
than
day.
me.
This shit still, bro. Q and them been doing this since probably 20. They tell us what 2014.
2014 is what they told
Yeah,
us.
yeah, that's what they tell us, 2014. But man,
Probably long.
you see what I'm saying? And it's like people still finding out, people still signing up for WSA. You see what I'm saying? Every day. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, like if that does something for you, man, and that's gonna help you be on the charts, and you love being on the charts, bro, do it, because you're gonna
Yeah,
have to fall in
definitely,
love with this one way or another if you truly
definitely,
want to be good at it, right?
for sure, for sure.
Because my
Yeah,
vision for it
definitely.
is
Yep.
the long term. right? Like being able to be 45 years old doing this, 65 years old on an island
Hell yeah.
somewhere doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same. Like with me, with my kids, man, like I enjoy, like I have a 4 year old, and my youngest is about to turn 1 in March.
Okay.
And I'm already like, I already show my 4 year old like the charts, and he'll be like, Daddy, look, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up. And I'm like,
Same,
hell yeah, like
same, bro. I already know. And this is something you could teach them early. Like
early, yeah,
by
super
the
early.
time they in middle
Yeah, I
school, they
definitely
already on the
I,
charts.
yeah, I definitely need to like get more. Like I wanna do something on my own, like what I was telling you, like I'm gonna open my LLC and everything and get my little niche and my little group going. But like I see how a lot of WSA members have like done that
Yeah,
and like branched out and like do their own thing.
yeah.
And it's like one of those things where it's like, did you so did you get like a rite of passage kind of
From
through
bro.
Q?
What
Did
you
you get
mean?
like a right to like do your own thing, or you just
I
kind
mean,
of went and
I
kind of
mean,
did it?
I ain't gonna lie. I kind of just went and did it. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of just went and did that shit. Like he kind of seen it because I was kind of like already throwing hints at him. Like, hey, bro, like I'm thinking about doing this. Hey, bro, like what I'm saying, just running it by him. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
that's what type of person I am. Like I ain't just gonna just up in. Especially that's already like big bro. You know what I mean? So it's like it ain't
Yeah.
nothing for me to call you and be like, hey, bro, I'm thinking about this, bro. What you think? You know what I'm saying? Just getting his intake on it. Because he know I'm gonna do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever I do, he gonna tell me I'm right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna be like, it's your life, bro. Like so.
Yeah.
That's just what type of bond we got. But yeah, like man, shit. I I say, man, really, I just did this shit and I just kept going to where it was like Vontae doing him. Like Vontae,
Yeah. Doing your own thing.
he good. Like he good. Like, and I know if it's anything I need, I could call bro and just be like, hey, bro.
Yeah. And then so just so I kind of understand, right? So you started with WSA, you went to the 5DC, you
Yeah,
kind of obviously you showed out, you got an A+ in the class,
yeah,
and then you start coming back as a teaching assistant,
right.
and then you take over the psychology portion, because obviously I've already watched the psychology portion in WSA.
All right. So with that, he just basically just let me do my thing. Like he was just like, hey, bro, like I'm thinking about adding this to it because that's his section,
Of
his
course.
his course and shit. So he's just like, hey, bro, like I'm thinking about doing this. Like, can you think, adding some psychology? Is there anything that you could put together? And I was just like, yeah, bro, give me give me some time. Give me like a week. I'll put something together.
Yeah.
You know.
And then how did you go? So like, how did the transition? Obviously, like I don't know. For me, like the perspective that I see is like everybody's FIP, everybody's WSA, right? Like in one way, shape, or another.
Yeah,
Like
it's like an umbrella under FIP.
yes, everybody. Yeah, it's like a big ass umbrella under Q
Yeah, yeah.
and Ryan.
Right, right.
So it's like how did you and Drew kind of come about, like with the whole, I know you said that you ended up leaving and now you're doing your own thing, but like how did that
It
kind
ain't
of
no,
come
it
into
ain't no, it
fruition?
ain't no thing like if I ain't never want to like come back and fuck with Drew, like I can't do
No,
that.
of course, of course.
It's like that's bro too. Like what I'm saying, like he'll hit me sometimes, and with Drew, he basically just like bro, I'm about to I'm about to start my own thing going on. Like I just passed FTMO. Like you want to pull up do some psychology stuff, I got you. Like and I was just doing that. But then, like I said, once I just seen it, it started getting like repetitive for me. Like it wasn't so much I could bring to him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't so much like his stuff wasn't good or nothing like that or anything because the signals was crazy. Like, what I'm saying? He go crazy. But me personally, I don't do signals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take signals. Like I like trading how I trade and I'm gonna come up how I come up because You know
Sure.
what I'm saying? Like that's just what I believe in. Like, you know, and as far as the students, I saw them wanting to do more one-on-ones with me through that. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to do one-on-ones and just work on their psychology, work on seeing certain things out of the charts, like coaching wise, right? And so I was just like, shit, man, I'm gonna just step over here and just do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna just step over here and just do these one-on-ones and just build my YouTube up and you know what I mean, keep trading and fuck with people that want to fuck with me, like and fuck with what I'm doing. Like
Yeah, for
you know,
sure. For sure. For sure. What what has been like, if you can if you can go through like your psychological journey of trading, what has been like, kind of like that breakthrough, or that point in time where you kind of like, you knew like you didn't want to like subconsciously or like either consciously like say it like, damn, like I'm at a whole new level right now,
yeah.
but you kind of saw it already like come into fruition, like, you planted that seed early on in your trading career, and then you, with having your psychology background and that being your degree, like how did that give you an edge like coming into the markets?
Uh, just research. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm used to doing research, really. Like so, it's nothing for me to be on the charts and just fall in love with price action, man. Like for real. Like
Yeah.
I love this shit. Like I really love looking at this shit. Like and figuring out what's gonna happen next just based off of what I believe and what I'm seeing. Like that's really what gave me an edge and just understanding like soon as bro told me like focus on one pair,
Yeah.
and treat it, you know, treat it with your all, like focus on that one pair, like master that before you start
And move on to another.
trying to go everywhere else. Like because if you never on it, you're gonna miss a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Like and it's gonna be hard to understand it.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
It's
I've
like a
noticed that too.
relationship,
Like,
bro. It's just like a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's the
I've
same.
definitely noticed that.
Yeah, it's the same thing, bro. And that's why they say trading will bring a lot out of you because you'll see that like your frustrations, you gotta face yourself, like everything. So just understanding like the biases that come with it. Like I already understood that. Like, everybody's looking at that. I'm not just going against a system. I'm not going against something. Like it's a market. It's people bidding. It's these type of things. So it's like it's buyers and
Right.
sellers. Like I'm looking at I'm looking at it from that type of standpoint and just going through the training of WSA, teaching me technically being me, like that's the only person I learned from. So it's like I ain't have to shop around and do this work for
Yeah.
me, do
Yeah.
that work for me.
Yeah.
Like no, like I got one system that Big Bro taught, and that's what I locked in on, and I just do that, and
True. True.
I'm
True. Yeah.
profitable.
I've noticed that too. I've noticed that
Yeah,
that basically
I'm
like
I'm
everyone I've been
consistent.
staring to.
I'm consistent. So and that's what matters to me, right? It's like
For
so I
sure.
know the growth is gonna come. It's gonna keep coming. You know, I just gotta manage it. That's the biggest thing is managing it and being a good manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you
Yeah,
manage?
like how to manage. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
True. 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 Yeah. That's one thing. That's one thing right now. I think I have to like it. I understand like subconsciously I'm putting myself under a lot of pressure because I what I have like my foreseeable future, right? Like me getting out the military, I know for a fact that that steady paycheck is gonna be gone. I've got hella mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a wife, I got two kids, and that could be a very stressful time. Obviously, granted, I still have my job aspiration, right? Like I do firefighting right now in the military,
okay,
so that's something I plan on doing
yeah,
even after I get out of the military. And just because like I'm at work right now. You get me? Like I'm on shift. I got my radio with me, you
Yeah.
know, and an alarm goes off. I'm ready to go. You get me? This job doesn't prevent me from doing what I want to do with the charts.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like that's why it's like one of those things where like I don't necessarily need to not do this outside of the military unless my business aspirations basically require me to. You know what I mean? So like I have a lot of business aspirations as far as like what I want to provide, like the value I want to provide via forex and like real estate investments and stock, mainly forex and real estate, to be honest, because like stock is not really my forte. I don't really pay attention to too much stocks.
Yeah.
I pay attention to a little bit of cryptos every now and then, but forex is really like something that I don't know. To me, there's always going to be a commodity to trade. You get me? Like whether it's a currency, whether it's a commodity, whether it's in a futures, there's always something that could be traded, and there's always something that could be plugged into a chart.
Yeah.
And if it's in the chart, I know how to read it. And if I know how to read it, I know how to trade it. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, how did you, okay, I guess what leading to my next question. How did you take that? Uh, did you like your leap of faith to going to doing this full time? Was it you were still in school?
Yeah, I was doing this while I was in school, so
Okay.
basically already doing it full time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So then you basically it was like an easy transition. You never really had to like get a job and kind of like manage both.
Yeah, but I mean, I was like teaching at school and stuff like that, so I would do
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
part time and stuff like that to get bread. But yeah, basically,
yeah. Okay. Okay. And then so as far as like how did what made you decide psychology? Because I'm assuming you started psychology school way before you were introduced into forex, right?
yeah, I got my bachelor's in psychology. I just always wanted to understand why people did what they did.
Yeah.
Like, why do people do what they do? Like, you know, and I guess that's the same thing. How I view the charts is like, why is
Why do yeah, yeah.
this like, so that causes me to analyze the candles differently and go deeper into the story of the candles,
True, true, true.
and the
True.
relationship between like the moving averages, and like just really fall in love with the craft.
I feel you. Bet. Let me see. What else? What else? Trying to think. Um, what would be? I guess what would be like your best tip for me moving forward as far as like I mean obviously you kind of saw
Since we
my
talked,
technicals, you kind of see, huh?
I said, yeah, since we talked and everything, my biggest thing would be, bro, just trust your analysis. Uh, make sure that you writing things down, like as you're trading, like journaling your trades.
Yeah, like when I enter my trade,
Yeah,
managing my trade, like
have a goal. Like have a goal. Like have a goal. Like for each of your trades, like you should have a goal. Like you know, make sure you're in your trades for a certain reason. Don't just be in
gotcha.
trades just to be in trades. Like and trust your analysis big time. Because
True.
technically you're already there. You're there, bro.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Nah, it's more of like a for me, it's more of like a psychological thing. Like I think I just need to I think I need to detach the fact that, I'm already past like not knowing what I'm looking at. Like I know wholeheartedly what I'm looking at.
Right.
Like I understand candles. I've read many books. I've listened to many podcasts. Like this is all I do. You get me? If I'm not working, if I'm not spending time with my wife and my kids, it's charts, it's candles, it's psychology, is trading podcast. It's like this is what because I know the power of like I see Q, I see you, I see Drew, I see all these guys reaching levels that like
Bro, it's
I
definitely up.
I 100% like know I can reach and I can tap into that.
Yeah, bro. Just don't put a whole bunch of pressure on yourself, bro. Like just, you know what I'm saying? Like just trade. Don't even put a bunch of pressure on yourself. Like manage with what you can manage. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And just build. It should be about building. It's not about
Yep.
just trying to get there overnight or just trying to
Yeah.
get to, understand what chapter you on. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's gonna be little hiccups and stuff like that, but you might be on chapter two, but queuing them on chapter 15 or something like that. Like,
Yeah, 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 for sure.
just understand what chapter you on and just keep working, bro. Like just keep going and keep trying to get better month by month, year by year.
Do you think so? I couldn't I couldn't for sure, or like with 100% certainty, like I couldn't tell you what pair I trade, right? Like I can answer that question, but it's like very subjective because like I trade a lot of EU. I trade I trade UJ for a little bit. I've traded GJ now because of Drew, like so because of his workflow and how he trades GJ, I've been able to kind of apply that same strategy into GJ myself and catch moves. And then, obviously, like I just showed you this little AU trade out of random, just because I was like, oh, this is a pretty sweet setup. Boom, and I just took it. You know what I mean? And I saw success with it. So it's like, how how have you over time? Uh,
I
how
mean,
have you?
bro, like you ain't gonna know what pair you like if you ain't out here shopping around. You just got into the game,
I feel you.
like,
Okay, so do you think I should have so like I should identify my
man.
strategy?
Like you have a good strategy, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? You a WSA student, so it's like your technicals and stuff. You're technically sound. We already know that. So just
Yep.
three pairs. Pick like three pairs that you like. You see structure on, like you like the flow and that you back test.
Regardless of what it is, right? Like I've always, I don't know, like subconsciously on the WSA group on the Facebook, everybody's like, oh, trade gold, trade US 30 because they see Q
I don't
doing it.
even really, man. I'll be on the Facebook group probably like once a
I
month.
don't I don't pay attention to the groups anymore. And that's another thing I've noticed. Like,
Trade, bro. You don't need to, bro. Just trade, bro.
yeah.
Trade, bro.
Yeah, I think honestly the biggest takeaway I'm taking from this whole one-on-one is just like just do me. You feel me? Like just do me. Don't worry about what the dude next to me or across from me is doing. If I'm doing me, like shit's gonna come into fruition for itself.
That's exactly yes, bro. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm based. So like, what are how did you go about shopping around? You literally just went down the list and you're like, man, let me fucking see freaking Euro CHF type shit. Like some random ass pairs. Like you just started shopping around.
Put it off on like AU, and then I went to UJ for a little bit, and from UJ went to GJ. Uh, traded AJ a little bit, and then after that, uh, I went back to GJ, and then started trading a little bit of GA, and then I went to US 30, and
And
then
that's kind of been that's kind of
yeah,
the you've made it.
right, and then do a little BTC like sometimes like
Okay. So you margin trade BTC?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never got into margin trading or not BTC. I've never gotten into margin trading crypto, period. I watched the WSA videos that Q has
Mhm.
about margin trading cryptos. They're a little older, but they're still relevant. I don't know, for me, it's just there's like a sense of like not fear, but it's like I see those nasty wicks
Yeah.
and it's like, oh shit, like I don't want to get caught.
Part of the game, man.
Yeah,
Part of the game. Scare money not gonna make no money, bro.
true, true.
It's part of the game. Like that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Hell yeah, hell
yeah.
yeah.
But shit, I got another one on one that I gotta do, bro. Like this been good.
No, you good, bro. I appreciate your time, man. For real, for real.
Yeah. Amen.
No doubt. And just out of curiosity, are you gonna be posting this on your YouTube? Just kind of send me the link of it recorded.
Yeah. I'll send you the link. I'll send you
Bet, bet, no doubt, man. Hey, I truly appreciate your time, Fonte. For real,
the link. All right, no problem, bro.
appreciate you.